So I guess it would work if I didn't have myself muted out. So I'm just talking to myself right now. So how's everybody's day going today? Sorry about that. Hey, Jasmine, how are you? Thank you for coming. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm going to give a few minutes for people to come in and we'll see how that works. Hey, Taylor, how are you? Thank you for coming. Tiffany, thank you. I had myself muted. You know, I was so fabulous. I didn't want my voice or my face shown. And when nobody was answering, I was like, oh, I forgot to take it off. How are you feeling, Tiffany? Are you feeling better? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started because I am not feeling my best and I want to go ahead and get started on this live and see if I can't, if anybody else comes through, they will be able to see the slides. If they have questions, they can ask questions, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm sure some of you guys have purchased a house or have wanted to purchase a house in the past, but I wanted to talk to you guys about home ownership. But I wanted to also go into details and tell you my qualifications because I don't want people to think that I'm just another fly-by-night loan officer or lender or somebody that's just out for money. This is all free. I make no money off of this. I am actually retired from the industry. I have been in the industry for 31 years, going on 32 years. I started out in collections. Actually, I started out, well, still working on my voice. Oh, good to hear that, Tiffany. You take care of yourself and keep drinking that tea. By God's grace, yes, ma'am, absolutely. So I started out in high school. I was in a magnet program for financial services, and I had the opportunity to do internship in high school with the Federal Reserve. So I got clearance through the Federal Reserve and through 4 major banks. So I have clearance with that. And then I started working in the mortgage business in collections. So of all things collections, right? So I did collections and within a year, I knew that I did not want to be I didn't want to be in the industry of collecting mortgages. I knew that within 1 year. I knew that I had potential. So I had to make a change. And I made changes that were positive. So I started working for a company that allowed me to do cross training. And back then in the 80s, cross training wasn't something that was done. So I spoke with different managers and departments asking for the opportunity to learn more about the line of work. And I went on to become a escrow analysis. Then I went to shipping post closing, then the processing. Then I became a team captain for wholesale lending. And then I went to become a loan closer, closing mortgage loans. And although I was growing in the industry, I was still hungry for more in my career. Again, I knew I had the potential of doing more than what I was doing. So I continued on with training and learning. And finally, I got an offer to underwrite conventional mortgage loans. Now, conventional loans is the cream of the crop type of loans. That's for people that has extremely high credit, nice. Back then, they had extremely high credit, nice jobs, reserves, and things of that nature. So they were easy loans. They were clean. They call them clean cut loans. So I was able to underwrite those loans, and I continued training until I got my clearance to do DE, direct endorsement underwriting for FHA, which is the Federal Urban Housing and Development, and for VA, for Veteran Administration loans. So I started doing FHA and VA underwriting. And from that point, I started thinking, I can do something else. So again, I wasn't quite ready I didn't think that's where I wanted to be. So then I went ahead and started doing originating. And I did that for 7 years. And then I got the job that I could not refuse, and that was a mortgage account executive in the Southeast. So I did a lot of traveling. And I did that for about 4 years, and then I went back to originating because I felt like I wanted to be helpful to other people, help them get into a house, help them get their credit built up, help them with their collateral, investment loans, and things of that nature. So I went back to originating, and I left originating for a third time and went to work for a big bank. And that lasted until 2013, and that's when I retired. So I still get calls now from old clients that called me and wanted me to actually go in and do loans for them. So I will pick up a loan here and there, but that's basically my background. So, hey, Stardam, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. Wasn't for real. Hello, thank you for stopping by. So that's my qualifications. So I just wanted everybody to know my qualifications to speak to you about home ownership. I didn't want people to think again that I was just another loan officer out for money. I make nothing on these speeches that I give. I still host first-time homebuyer seminars and things of that nature. So I do that, and it's all free. I don't charge because, again, I like to help people to be successful, and I want them to have investment properties because you can always use your property for investment for the long run. So today I wanted to talk to you about some of the things that you needed to start the process of getting a loan or a home. Some people, again, may have a home already, but I just wanted to start the process and let people know your credit history is one thing that stands up. You have to have good credit. There are loans that you can get with not so good credit, but why not clean your credit before you try to buy the house so you can take advantage of the better rates? So back in, what was that, 2000, and before the last mortgage crash, people were using subprime lending, and I was the mortgage account executive for a subprime lender. I hated that job because I didn't like the rates, and I knew that those people could actually get into an FHA loan if they would have waited. So credit is very important. Trade lines, you got to have trade lines. So people think that because, hey, Miss Yo-Yo Show, thank you for coming. So people think that because they have a good credit score, but they may have like 1 or 2 loans on their credit, or some people say they don't have any credit, and they think that that's okay for them. But the lenders want to look at your trade lines. They want to see that you have the ability to pay back what you have borrowed from them. Now, here's a question that I would almost always ask my questions to my customers. I would always ask the question: if you loan somebody $50,000 or $100,000, how much information would you ask from them? Because most of the customers would say, why are you asking for all of this information? Why do you need this? If I loaned you $50,000 or $100,000, you better give me your blood type, your firstborn, your retirement, everything that I can get to make sure that I can get repaid the money that I'm loaning you. So that's why the lenders ask for all these things. But people take offense to it. But it's not that they're trying to be nosy. They just want to make sure that they can actually get their money back. So we look at credit. We look at trade lines. We are not looking for somebody that has a secured line of credit or they are a authorized user on someone's credit. Yes, firstborn. Yes. I don't know. That might be a tricky thing, but yeah, firstborn. I want as much as I can get. But we look at trade lines. We yes, you can use authorized users. Yeah, that's a good thing. But how often I was an authorized user on a credit card with my mom. I never used a credit card, but I got the credit score. I was in high school. I was my last year in high school, and she added me as an authorized user. So with that being said, they look at all the trade lines. They want to see that you have a trade line of at least 1,500 as a balance, not a balance. I'm sorry, as a credit line. Then they want to see that you have an installment debt, so perhaps a car. But please, for heaven's sakes, do not apply for a loan, get a pre-approval letter, and go out and buy a car. Don't do that. That was one of the problems that I had also. So we look at trade lines, we look at credit history, we look at how long you've had that credit. So we look at that. We need letters of explanation. So everybody has hiccups. Some things happen. Sometimes you may have forgotten to pay a bill, and that's easy. That could happen. But now with smartphones and things like that, you can put that on your phone and you don't forget it. But back in the day, people would forget that. So we would get letters of explanation, and it has to make sense. And you cannot get defensive when the lender asks you for these things. So I'm telling you these things, guys, so that when you actually go to apply for any type of credit, any type of loan, whether it's a line of credit, whether it's a home letter, whether it's a car, you have to be prepared. So if you have these things ready, then you don't have to go back and forth, back and forth. Because you know what happens when you go back and forth? You're going to forget something and you're going to slip up. And then the lender is going to say, oh, why you didn't tell me this? Because you give them room to dig deeper into your file. So if you give them everything they ask for up front, you don't give them the opportunity to keep going into your file to find out that you have things that you did not let them know in the beginning. So get ready to have letters of explanation. Though I'm just telling you these things again. We need to know your rental or your mortgage history. So if you're buying a house and you have lates on your mortgage or your rent within the last 12 months, we want to know why. We know things have happened. And we know, especially like now, people are being laid off for Coco. I call her Coco because Coco need to go. But people are being laid off or not being able to work or the jobs are closing. But we need to have that information documented because, again, if a lender is going to give you hundreds of thousands of dollars, they need to know that they're going to get their money back. Anybody have any questions about the trade lines or to start the process? I'm switching between screens too, by the way. Okay, so the next thing, which is a very, very, very important thing, job history. They look for a 2-year job history. There are times when you're right out of college and you're starting a new job. We have to look at certain things. You just started a job, but you worked while you were in college, but you were working at the Piggly Wiggly or the Walmart or the mall or wherever you were working. We all know that in college we had to work, but we got to bridge that gap. So you graduated and now you're a doctor, or you've graduated and now you're an IT person, or you've graduated and now you are a lawyer and you've got a job. We have to bridge that gap. So what we ask people to do is to have documentation. Yes, we look at your school transcripts to see that, yes, you have graduated from college and you were in school the last 4 years or 6 years. You're a nurse now, but while you were in nursing school, you worked at the CVS. So we can, as long as it makes sense, we have to make the files make sense. We also need consecutive paycheck stubs. If you are a W-2 employee, we need consecutive pay stubs. You will not believe how many people will give me a pay stub from January And then give me a pay stub from March. What happened from February, March, April, and now May? People do not keep up with their documentation. So that means that we have to now call your employer and get a verification of employment. And that employer is going to send us that VOE. And I do a lot of acronyms, but they give us a VOE, which is a verification of employment. And then down below, they say, yes, Mr. Homebuyer borrowed some money from us, and we're taking money out of his paycheck every week that he never told us about. So just be upfront when you're showing your information. Just be upfront. Hello, B Emma TV. Hello, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So also make sure you give us consecutive pay stubs. So we need that 1 month of pay stubs. Don't put gaps in between because you may have been off of work for some reason. Just like now, some people have been out of work for some reason. Now we do have calculations that we check on, which is going to be another segment of a Monday mortgage. But make sure you have the consecutive pay stub. These are things that you should always keep. You should always have them, especially if you know you're about to apply for a mortgage, a car, or any type of loan. You should have these. Now, I don't say keep them forever, but keep them and shred them over time. Also, tax returns. If you are self-employed, we need your tax returns. We need all your schedules. And if you have not filed your taxes, we need to show your extension. We need to know when you're going to file those taxes because we take your calculations from your taxes that you file and we calculate how much income you actually really make. So if you're writing everything off, bad, you're not going to apply. You're not going to qualify for much. So these are things, again, that you need to make sure you have when you're applying for a loan. Okay, the next one, reserves. Used to be where you only need 1 month of reserves in your bank account once you close. Now the lenders are asking for 2 months. Some are asking for more, but we need to have reserves in the bank account. Hey, Vern, thank you. So we look at reserves and we look at your bank statement like we're the FBI. We need all pages of your bank statement. If it says this page is left blank intentionally, we need that page because you will not believe how many people will slip in some bank statements that has a 4th page that has a loan or will have large sums of money deposited. We need letters of explanation for all of that. So if you're upfront, you tell what happened, again, you make the process smooth. Your loan officer should be very adamant about you giving them all the information, but also before your loan officer turns your paperwork into the lender or the underwriter, they should double check everything. I pre-underwrote all my loans before I turned them into the underwriter. So when the underwriter got them, the only thing she would do or he would do was return it back, final approval, ready to close. Because I took a thorough loan application. We need 401k statements, consecutive months. Again, guys, we need 2 months of bank statements and 401k statements. Or if they're quarterly, we need them quarterly. But we need all pages and it needs to be consecutive. So we don't need a January statement in June. We need January and then we need the quarterly statement. Hey, the Foodie Duo, thank you for joining me. Hello. And also, if you were a person that were renting an apartment, never been late, we need you to have council checks so that we can show that you've paid that rent on time, not 30 days late. Now, they don't care if you paid it like on the 5th or the 7th and you had to pay a late charge. They don't look at that. What they care about is that you did not go over 30 days late. So we need the council checks for that. And paper trail. Always keep a paper trail. What is a paper trail? If you are getting large deposits, We need the paper trail. We need to know where those deposits came from. So if your mom gave you money, we need to know. We don't need your mom's information, but we need to know where that money came from. So you need to be able to document the money. And this is very crucial. We need, hey, sophisticated lady, welcome. Thank you for joining me and us. Thank you. We need social security cards because our government wants to make sure that you're the person that's buying this house. So for an FHA loan or VA loan, which that is one of the topics that we're going to talk about too next Monday, probably. We're going to talk about different types of loans. But for the government loans, we have to have your social security card. And when I say government, that means FHA or VA loan. We need your social security card. And some conventional loans, they are asking for social security cards because they want to make sure you're the person that is buying this house. Thank you, Tiffany. We need your state driver's license and your state and or state ID, or we'll even go off of a, I'm going to lose my train of thought here. Passport. But it has to be current. It cannot be expired. And I'm telling you these things because I have seen a lot in the mortgage business. I have seen a lot. And people will try and pull a fast one. But because of my experience level, I catch a lot. I do quality control before anything. So we need the state ID, divorce decree. We need that because sometimes in those divorce decrees, there's some stuff in there that you would not believe that doesn't show up on the credit. So we need to know if Mr. So-and-so is paying Mrs. So-and-so X amount of dollars for in the divorce decree. We need to know because we have to count that in their ratios. So we don't want to give Mr. Or Mrs. a $1 million home when he or she is paying out a lot of money every month for during the divorce decree. So we have to make sure, hey, New York worker, welcome. So we have to make sure those items are valid. So we need that. We need child support documentation too, because sometimes you can use child support as income. But if we're using it for income, we need to make sure that it's something that's coming regularly and we need to have it documented. But on another note, if it's somebody that's actually purchasing a home that has to pay child support, we have to count that against them in their ratios. So we need those documentations. And then also with a VA loan, we need to have the DD-214s and the certificate of eligibility. And that is, certificate of eligibility. So we need those documents. And these are the documents that you should have readily available at all times. Because again, if you're buying it for if you're trying to buy a house, a condo, or a car, anything that you're trying to buy where they're going to loan you money, you should have those documents available. So you don't have to go and look for them, maybe have it in a safe deposit box. I don't tell you to carry it on you because I will never tell you to carry your social security card on you, but you should have it somewhere that you can get to it. Make sure you have a loan officer that you will fill out your documentation thoroughly, because again, the least amount of time that underwriter has to go into your file, the better opportunity you're going to have with getting that loan approved and closed the first time around. Now, I cannot tell you or your loan officer how to do this, but I train loan officers also. I had 75 loan officers working under me. I trained them. And the application has areas that you have to fill out for a reason. And they will leave them blank. And guess what? The underwriter will get the file and she will find out information. And then the loan officer will get all upset because their loan is pending and they're needing more conditions. And nothing makes a customer. Just think about it. If you were buying a house, wouldn't that make you upset if your loan officer tell you, this is all I need, and then all of a sudden you end up needing more information? And then you keep going back to the customer and they're like, they get upset. And I don't like to go back and ask the customer, I need this. Yeah, the loan officer, the underwriter needs this, so she needs that. So if you have a really good loan officer, they will take the application thoroughly. They will ask the right questions. They will get the right documentation. Your loan will go through the underwriting department and it will go through smooth sailing. Now, guys, I've done a lot in the mortgage business. I've done everything that I could do in the mortgage business. I have done it a lot. I've seen a lot. So I actually wanted to tell you guys to just some of the things to be aware of. I am licensed in the state of Georgia and in Tennessee, but I'm retired, so I put my license on inactive right now. But if someone calls and asks me to help them with a loan, then I pull it off of inactive, help them with the loan, then I go back on inactive. So there are things that I could help people with. So if you have a loan officer and you're not really quite sure if they're doing things the right way, I don't like to step on people, I don't like to step on people's toes or get in the midst of another loan officer. But just know from what I'm telling you, if they ask for these things up front, please get it for them because they're trying to make sure that your loan goes smoothly. Does anybody have any questions regarding the loan process? Does anybody think they're going to buy a house or they already have a house or they're trying to refinance? They're going to buy a commercial investment? Any questions out there? That's right, Vern. You have to be honest when you're doing that finance, because if you're not, every time they open up that file, they're going to find something. It's like, wow, I didn't see that the first time. And the underwriters are trying to prove a point because they get credit for having loans that don't come back with within a certain time frame. So they get credit for having loans that do not come back in default after a certain amount of time. So if you're upfront, you're good. You are downsizing. I need to downsize, Vern. I really do. I really do. So are you working with a loan officer or are you going to a bank? That's another thing I want to talk to you guys about too. And I guess since I'm good on time, I guess I could go ahead and talk about it. As far as time is concerned, as far as
it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, no, thank you. As far as credit is concerned, a lot of people are not wanting their credit pool more than one time. Now, here's the deal. Yes, don't open any new lines of credit, no credit cards, and definitely not a car. Definitely not a car. Refinance is a good time to refinance right now because the rates, and see, I cannot talk to you guys about rates because it depends if it's coming through a bank. I'm on the broker side. I'm no longer on the retail side, which is banks. I do mine through a broker, and the reason why I go broker is because I only have to pull the credit one time. And as long as the property is existing, that credit report will last for 120 days. So I have 120 days for my customer to find a house and get their little bodies in that house. That's why I take them through the pre-qualification program first. Make sure they pre-qualify, get them pre-approved. Hey, Candy, thank you for coming. I make sure they're pre-approved, subject to their approval. The approval letter is approved, subject to a property. And once they find their property, then we get the appraisal done and all that other good stuff. But I make sure that they get that done, and they only have to have their credit pulled at one time. That's because I'm on the broker side, and I have I think we have like 50 lenders, direct lenders that we deal with. You're going to update? That's a good idea too. I mean, how long have you been there, Vern? Have you been there like many, many years? I've been here in my house for almost 30 years. My house is paid off, and We are now going to rent the house out. We are going to, we have a, oh God, what is it called? A tool shed in the back that has electric and water. So we are going to turn that into a studio apartment. Yeah, you've got some. Have you ever refinanced that before, Vern? Or are you? You're welcome, sophisticated lady. I'm going to do this live every Monday. It will be something different with the mortgage. And again, all the advice is free. And because I have had a long history in the business, um, I even have recommendations. So if anybody wants to check and have my recommendations, I'm more than happy to give them the information. So I hope it helps you if you're trying to buy or if you need to refinance or if you want to buy that vacation home, please do. Give you a tour of, give you a tour of Candy. Great sophisticated lady. Oh, are you trying to? Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. Why don't you keep it as investment, Vern, and rent it out? Rent it out and have some income. Oh, Jasmine, feel better. Oh, the tool shed. I'm gonna tell you this, Candy. See, I don't even go back there. I do not go back there. I haven't been back there. I'll tell you, I haven't been back there in years. He goes back there and gets the lawnmower and stuff, but I have not gone back there in years. All I know is that it's becoming a studio apartment, bathroom, kitchen, bedroom, and a sitting area. That's it. And it'll have a driveway coming up to the shed. So got to think with the economy and with how things don't always work out perfectly. Got to think about ways of making extra money, which is another topic I will talk about investments. So, um, with that being said, I have property that we're going to get an RV, and we can dock our LV on our RV on our lake property, and we don't even have to come back here just to collect rent and just to see. It's a pretty huge, it's pretty big, Candy. It is. You know what, Vern? You don't have to be the landlord. Pay somebody to do it. Pay somebody to do it. I would never, I did that years ago. I would never do it myself anymore. I'll pay a real estate agent to handle that. I would never do it again. I don't have the patience either. I don't have the patience. I no. But it's always a good idea to have that extra income coming in. So with that, we'll have two incomes here. I will go and next time I go on a tour of RV, I'll go live now that I can do that. Property manager, that is correct. Sophisticated. Like, yes, yes, property manager. Absolutely. See, back when I did it, before on our other rental properties, we we had friends that worked for the sheriff department. So if we needed to evict anybody, we would call our friend and he would go and serve the papers. I know that's bad, but yeah, but I don't think I don't we don't have the time or the patience to do that anymore. That I'm telling you, Vern, I've been through that. I've been through that. Been through that. One of my tenants actually left a dog, and he got arrested. Left the dog in the house. Didn't know he had a dog. And one of the other tenants said they kept hearing some whining, but they also smelt something foul. So my husband went into the property to find a Doberman that was just locked up in the house, hadn't had anything to eat in over a week. So we adopted the Doberman and put the tenant, well, the tenant was already evicted because he was incarcerated. But then we had a tenant that we had a duplex. The tenant actually came in, got mad because he didn't pay, and we told him if he didn't pay in a certain time, he was going to be evicted. He turned around and said he was going to pay, but what he did was he busted the toilet and left the water running. I got $1,000 water bill, had to go to the city of Atlanta. They took the bill away from us, but it was a mess. So I learned from the different types of property that I have whether or not I would be dealing with the people. I would not do Section 8 either. Definitely not. Anybody had any other questions about the documentations or anything that they needed to get for um for a mortgage? Now I have to give a disclaimer that I this is not a what about getting the equity out of your home if you've been in your office. You can do an equity line. Yes, equity is good. Um, I would do an equity line over a refinance, and I'll tell you why. Because every time you refinance, unless you take your terms of your loan down, it's like starting all over again. So if you do an equity line, you will make if you do an equity line, you can use the equity to do whatever you need to do with it. If you're fixing up your house or if you're needing it to pay off something, you can do the equity line, but use it wisely. I don't recommend people getting the equity line just to get it. So most people get equity lines if they want to pay for their children's college tuition or if they want to do some work around the house. I don't recommend having a equity line just to get it for buying a car, anything like that. And again, I would not refinance, especially if you've been in that house for over 10 years, unless you're going to refinance the house and do a 20-year term or a 15-year term. The last time I refinanced, I did a 15-year term and I paid that off so fast. It was a struggle, but I did it. Mostly military tenants. Yeah. See, Candy, you probably got most military tenants are going to be I won't say behave, but I think you've got a nice set of tenants if you got military tenants. And if as long as they're paying, and you know they're going to pay because military people really don't want to get in trouble with their captains. So they actually do the right thing. So you got a good one there. I'm going to be able to do that. Yeah, Burgess. I've had people to rent rooms. Some people are doing the Airbnb. I don't think I can do that because that's in the news so much now here in Atlanta. I'm telling you, I don't think I could do the Airbnb. When it was first a thing, it was all right, but now it's like people are going in, tearing up your house, and having wild parties, and neighbors are complaining, and nah, I don't think I would do that. So rental is a good thing if you get the right tenants. And how you know if you have the right tenants is pulling the credit, talking to the other landlord that had them before, and if they've been on their job a long time. There's different things you can look for to find out if the tenant is good. I've even thought about in my house is because we were wanting to downsize also is blocking the certain part of the house off and we live in one part of the house and have the tenants to live in the other part and still rent out turn it into a studio apartment. So then we will have um, then we didn't have to worry about paying rent or buying another house or anything. So those are options with having investments. So I was trying to stay on so that I can raid Miss Tiffany, but I guess I probably should have put more slides on because I thought more people would have had questions. Um, and I mean, I can start talking about other things. I just don't have a slide prepared for it. But yeah, mortgages is, I recommend anybody to have home ownership. I really do. Because that is something that you can always fall back on as long as you keep it and you pay it and you keep it up. Everybody's not meant to be a homeowner. I will say that. Everybody's not meant to own a home. But also, people go out looking for a home and they get caught up in the wrong situation. Most people will go out and they try to buy this mansion before they start. I started out with a duplex and then I moved up. I bought 4 houses. So I didn't start that way. Now, sophisticated lady, that is a topic that I was going to talk about, but I'll go ahead and tell you it depends on the type of loan. There are several types of programs. If you're doing an FHA loan, that would be a 3% down would be the down payment. There are programs, there's grants, and there's 100% financing available. And then a conventional loan, they want 5% down. And then if you're doing investment, they want 10% down. And then with investment, they want 10% down, plus they want to see that you have almost 12 months of reserves in your bank account. And FHA is actually 2.75% down. So, but we tell them roughly 3% down. Sparks Boss family, hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us. How are you? VA, you can go 100% depending on your DD 214 and your certificate of eligibility. If you've had it before, if you've used it before. VA also is one of the ones that don't really have, depending on your DD 214 and your certificate of eligibility. Some people do not have what they call mortgage insurance, which is in addition to your principal and interest, your taxes and insurance, they have what they call mortgage insurance. FHA has mortgage insurance, and it also includes your principal and interest, taxes, and insurance. Conventional has, unless your LTV, your loan to value, is 80% or less, there is no mortgage insurance on a conventional loan. And also, when you have the terms of the loan, depending on if you're doing we use an automated system through Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae. And if you are approved through one of those automated systems, you're good. But if you get a referral, then we start tinkering around with the loan amount, and sometimes we change the type of terms. So if we started out at 30-year, we'll take it down to a 20-year, and most of the time you'll get an approval on a 20-year because the less terms that you have on your loan, the less amount of time that the lender has to hold your loan. So those loans get approved quicker. Exactly, Vern, and that's one of the Mondays that I'm going to talk about the debt to income ratios, and the pre-qualifying. I'm actually going to do some examples showing people how to do their qualifying factors, because different types of loans, like an FHA loan, you can have a 41% DTI, debt to income. Again, guys, forgive me, I'm used to using the acronyms instead of saying it out. But FHA will let you go to a 41% DTI. I've actually seen it go as far as 50% DTI. I would never advise my customer to do a DTI with a 50%, but some of them you just cannot tell them. Conventional is 35%. So I will do that ratio calculations and show people how to do that, because I think it's important, because you don't really want to actually depend on your loan officer 100% also. Hey, Marley, December family caregiver, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for coming. So you want to be able to answer questions on your own too. So if you do find that loan officer that's not very knowledgeable or not the best of the best, you'll know if you're being pulled over. So I want to show everybody everything they need to know. By the time they finish, who knows, they may become a loan officer if they want to. Hey, Marley, December family, we were talking about the different things that people needed to have when they start the process of purchasing a home, or if they want to refinance. I have the slides up. If you want me to go through the slides again, just let me know. I'll be happy to I actually started back over at the second slide, and I'll be happy to go down the slides if you need me to. Just please let me know. Okay, sure. I'll leave it up. Yes, I'll leave it up, because I'm actually working towards some watch hours anyway, and I'm not going to. I was trying to stay up long enough to raid Tiffany Chanel at 9 o'clock, but I think everybody has had all their questions that they needed. So yes, I'll absolutely leave it up for you, and just I will sit here right by the computer. So if you need me to change the screen, I'll be happy to, or if you want to just listen to it, you may do so. And just to let you know, Marley, December family caregiver, I am going to do a segment every Monday on mortgages. And then on Wednesdays, I will be doing healthy eating segment. And then on Friday, I will be doing fitness. You're very welcome. And I appreciate you as well. Oh, I didn't. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go back up. Sorry. You said you will be there. I appreciate it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Vern. Yes. Yes, I will do a segment talking about the debt to income ratio and how to add them up, how to calculate it. So yes, ma'am. Thank you for the question. Sorry about that. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna start the slides back over again, guys. I don't know if you can see the slides. I don't know what's going on. Can you guys see the slide number 2? Can someone let me know if they can see number 2? Thank you, sophisticated lady. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, you want to move. Yes, I saw that, Vern. I saw that. So you wanted to purchase another home or? Oh, awesome. Are you needing a referral for a lender? Or are you coming here to where I'm at? Because you buy a house, you've been in the house for 2 years, you decide you need to move. How can you get out of a 30-year loan without any bank? Okay. Well, you've been in there for 2 years. No, I love New York. Well, I have some referrals for you if you need one, Burn. Living better. So if you've been in the house and for 2 years and you decide you want to move, how can you get out of a 30-year loan? Well, what you will need to do is, well, of course, you will need to sell the home. So you have to find a real estate agent and then put your house on the market. There are ways, and right now, especially in Georgia, it is a buyer's market. They are running out of inventory. I talked to some of the loan officers and friends, and they're like, we cannot keep enough properties. They'll get the people pre-approved and cannot find properties because they're selling like hotcakes. So it's a buyer's market. So you would have to sell the property and then buy your next property. Or you could do what they call a short sale, which I don't recommend that because the bank has to approve it and then it may or may not go on your credit. So your best option would be to sell the house. I see the slides came back up, guys. So if you're new on the channel, new to the live, I started the process talking about the things that you need when you're starting to purchase a home. The first slide was talking about my credentials and my experience, and I've been in the business for over 31 years. This live is free advice. It costs me, I'm not charging anything and I'm not receiving anything. I'm just giving everybody information. Hey, Daddy Days, welcome. Thank you for thumbing me up. I just want to give everybody information so they can be prepared when they go to either purchase a home or refinance their home or buy investment property or any type of loan that they're doing. And I started out by telling them the things that they need to have when they are purchasing a home and what the lenders look for. And the first slide was credit. They look at your credit history. They look at your credit scores. They look at your trade lines. And anything that is not what they call cookie cutter, that is not across the board, clear, clean, and fabulous, you need to have letter of explanation telling them what happened because things happen. And you need to be prepared to tell them everything. You need to give a good loan application to your loan officer because the more times your loan officer sends your file to the underwriter and they have to look at that file, that gives them the opportunity to go back through the file and find something that they did not catch the first time around. So if you want a smooth loan process to go through without a problem, it's best to have everything up front and ready to go. Also, rental and mortgage history. They look for rental and mortgage history because, again, if you gave somebody $10,000 or $100,000 or even $5,000, wouldn't you want to know that you were going to get your money back? So that's why the lenders ask for these things. They're not asking for it because they want to be bad or hard on you. They're asking because they want to make sure that they're going to get their money back. They want their money back. And then the next thing they ask about is we need to have job history. And the slides are going a little slow, so I'll wait till it catch up. So we're looking for job history. They need to make sure that you have 2 years of job history because there are people that bounce around. They don't stay on a job, or their positions are always ending, or they just can't keep a job. So we need to make sure, again, that we're going to get our money. So the lender will look at the job history. Now, there are times when you have a person that has been in school and they've graduated, but they were working at Walmart or CVS or Walgreens or wherever they were working while they were in nursing school, law school, um, getting their degree in whatever they were getting it in. Now they're out and they're working a job making all this money. We want to know what that bridge was. Well, that's why we ask for the transcripts, and we see that the person actually was in college for pursuing a career in law or law enforcement or um, medical or whatever, nursing. So we do check all of that in information. Paycheck stubs. We need to have consecutive check stubs. So these are things that people should always keep. And I'm not saying keep it forever and a day. So if if they've had it for 6 months and they haven't bought a house, but they know they're going to buy a house, but it's not going to happen this month or next month, you can go ahead and start shredding your paychecks and shred your things, guys. Don't put them in the garbage. Shred them. It's too much fraud out there. So take your check stubs and shred them. But always keep at least 4 months of check stubs, consecutive months. So January, February, March, April. Then in April, go ahead and shred January to April, and then go May, June, July, August, and so on and so forth. But just keep that in mind that you need consecutive check stubs. And if you are a W-2 employee, you need your W-2s for 2 consecutive years. Do not give your loan officer a W-2 from 2017 and we're in 2020. They need consecutive documentation. Tax returns, if you're self-employed, you need to have all schedules on your tax returns, all pages consecutive. Because if you are a person that's self-employed and you write off all your income, you're going to have a problem trying to buy a house. So and they check that. There is a calculation, and that one is a class in its own. I can show you how we underwrite your tax returns, but that's a whole class in its own. Let's see. What about those of us that were on our jobs for 17 years but was laid off and spent 3 years caring for a parent? That is okay, Marley. December, that is fine as long as we can document it. So if you left your job of 17 years and if that is actually the case, I'm sorry to hear that. You just need to document that that's what you had to do, is take time. They call that bereavement. They call it, oh goodness, I'm going to forget the term, but you have to document that that's what happened. Oh, okay, great. I'm glad I answered your question. Yeah, we just need to show documentation that that's what you had to do. And then, of course, the tax returns, we need all the schedules, and they have to be consecutive, and and everything needs to be there. And we do pull a 4506T. What that means is some people, and again, I've been through everything in this business, and one of my Mondays is going to talk about everything that I've been through. You guys would be floored when I tell you this. But there have been people that have falsified tax returns and will go to a closing and sit there like nothing was wrong. And then that 4506T, because the lender will pull the 4506T the day of closing. You're sitting there thinking that you're getting ready to close on your house, and that IRS sends that 4506T back, and the tax returns were fraudulent. And guess what? you could either go to jail because that is a federal offense. So they check that. So again, they're giving thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. You better believe they're checking everything. Okay. And then the next thing, let's see, check to make sure I'm answering the questions, guys. The next thing is reserves. So we are asking for reserves. They want to see that you're not going to close on your house today when your first payment is due in 60 days. You don't have any money to pay your first mortgage. So they want to see reserves. Some of the lenders don't really ask for reserves on like FHA or VA loans. They don't ask for reserves, but it's nice to have it. And if you're getting investment, they definitely want to see reserves. In fact, they want to see almost 12 months of reserves. And when I say reserves, they want to see 12 monthly payments of your house that you live in and each and every one of your investment properties. They want to see that in reserves. If you do not have that, you will not close that loan. You got to have reserves. Bank statements, we need your bank statements. We look for any large deposits, any loans that are not disclosed on the loan application, and we need to have the consecutive months. And if it says this page was left blank intentionally, we need that page too. So if you have page 1 of 1, 2 of 2, or if it's 4 pages and you give me 1, 2, and 3 and don't give me page 4, the first thing I'm going to say is, I need page 4, please. And if you tell me it's intentionally blank, I need to see that. We don't know that. We're not mind readers. The underwriters are not mind readers. They need to know. Oh, thank you. You're so welcome. When the last it down in the house and not one relative would work with me because what state are you in, Marley? Are you still interested? Because I can find you a reputable lender. So again, we need the bank statements consecutive. We need all pages. We need you to address any large deposits, any negative. That was the other thing I didn't say earlier. And I'm glad Tiffany had me to go back through this. I meant to tell, we have to have a letter of exclamation. You're in Georgia? Are you serious? I'm in Georgia. So are you on Instagram? If you IG me, Marley, I will be happy to, if you're still interested, I'll be happy to connect you with a loan officer and a realtor. I would be happy to. And the thing about, if I refer you to somebody, I stay on them like like butter on toast because I have put my name out there. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, listen, keep me in mind. If your lease come when you're ready to do this next year, if you want to look me up, I stay in the business because of things like this, and I can always find you someone that will be of help to you. And if you know anybody that needs help, be sure to just IG me, and I will be happy to help you. Great, absolutely. Who knows? Maybe next year you might get me. Because as time go on, I might get a little bored sitting at home. Or somebody may give me that offer that I cannot refuse, and that has happened before. So again, guys, on your bank statements, I meant to mention earlier also, if you have NSFs on your bank statement, we need to have you to address the NSFs. We need to know why you bounced that check. So yes, please stay connected with me, dear. Please stay connected. Do you have my IG? If one of the mods could put my IG in there, so if she doesn't have it, you can put my IG on there for me, please. So we would definitely need you to give a letter of explanation. And another thing I'm going to give y'all is a list of all of the acronyms because I'm so used to calling out the abbreviations. for LOA, so letter LOE, letter of explanation. So I need a letter of explanation telling me why you bounced the check, why you have $1,000 lump deposit, why you have a car note that you pay every month, but I don't see it on your credit report. See, these are things underwriters get paid a lot of money to find these things. And if you are upfront with your loan officer and tell them these things, because it's a question on the job on the loan application, and it says any more liabilities, and if you don't disclose that, and then they get to looking at your bank statement, we are going to find it. You are very welcome, Wilson, for real, very welcome. So we're going to find it, and we're going to say, hey, why are you paying this car note for $700 a month every month for the past year, and it's not on your credit report? Interesting. So people will do that. It may be a car that their mother opened up the account for them and they're paying it. Or they actually may be self-employed on another type of job that they didn't give us the tax returns because they have a W-2 job and we only ask for a pay stub and W-2. Right? So we always ask for that. We need your consecutive 401k statements, consecutive, quarterly, monthly, however you get it. We need all pages. Always, always. Paper trail. We look at paper trail. We need the black and white. We need to know. Now, I had a customer that, this is a good one. She purchased her house and her dad was paying her down payment. And I asked her how was she going to come up with her down payment? Her father raises here in Georgia, South Georgia, raises Angus cattle. He paid her down payment 20% down on a $200,000 house. Thank you so much, Tiffany. I appreciate you. So he used the purchase of Angus cow for her down payment. You paid it off so you purchased the car and you paid it in full. So you never had a payment on the car, correct? Because if you didn't make the first payment, if you paid it off as soon as you bought the car, that would not be on your credit. If you bought the car and the first payment came due and then you paid it in full, then that will show up on your credit. It will show that it was paid off. Exactly. Thank you, Tiffany. That is correct. Okay, so you paid it on the spot. So you never applied for a loan then? I know. And you don't sound like the type of person that need this type of advice, Marley, but I always tell people this bit of advice, even though, and you never really had a car payment on this one, but when people pay off their car, I tell them to still make a car payment into their bank account. That's savings. Do you agree with that, Tiffany? Okay, and then cancel checks. Also, make sure you keep your cancel checks for people that has a nope, never applied for a loan. Okay, then that wouldn't be on your credit. That shouldn't be on your credit. Have you gotten a credit report? Because you know you're entitled to a credit report once a year. You can get it as often as you like if you were denied for credit, unless I have to check that because the last we were told it was right. Thank you, Tiffany. And what do you think about the suggestion of when people pay off their their cars or their liens and things like that to continue to make payments into a savings account? I live by that. I think that is the best thing since cheese. Because you're used to paying that money anyway. So why not keep building a savings account by putting that money back into a savings account? Hey Marley, I will double check that because the last time I checked, now with everything that's gone on with Equifax, that may have changed, but the last time I checked, it was once a year in Georgia. But you can always, and I don't really support the Credit Karma and all those, but at least you get an idea what's going on your credit without having to pay for it. So I recommend that for that reason only. But you cannot depend on that for the actual score because the scores are a little off. Thank you, Vern. Okay, great. Great job. So you're using that as savings. Cool. Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome. And the last thing I'm going to talk about on this slide was council checks. People that have that pay rent and for like a private, like they pay for a rent for a private owner. Like for instance, my tenant pays me rent by check, and I have copies of their check, so that way I can. I mean, not copies of their check. They pay me by check. The check clears their bank, and then that's what they use to prove that they made their payments on time for 12 months. And then also, if they have a car note that doesn't show up on their credit, but they're paying it every month, and we see it on the credit report, then we can, I'm sorry, we see it in their bank account. So that's what we use that for. You do something similar, slightly different. I use the extra money for combining the debt, snowball, and avalanche method, but with no debt. Sure, that's a good deal idea. Right, right. We're on the same track, Tiffany. Yes, yes. It's always good to have those extra. Oh, getting her situated. Yes, get her snacks ready. You know she got to have the snacks. I'm gonna let mines continue to run. We're gonna raid you, Tiffany, and I am going to lay down in my bed. I feel not the best, and I just want this over like yesterday. My family prayer is going on at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock because I told them I was going live. So I need to make sure that I go onto the family prayer at 9 o'clock, and then I'll swoop in on you. I understand how the credit system works, but you said something earlier that made me want to double check if I needed to see my car. However, I now know it didn't relate to you. Oh, okay. Yes, you got to have those snacks. Jasmine, I hope you're feeling better. Thank you for hanging in there. Hey, thank you for hanging in there. So the last thing I'm going to talk about, and by then we're probably going to be pretty close to rate time. So documents that you should always have. And I don't know when you came in, Marley. You may have came in on this part when we were talking about things that you should always have access to, whether you keep it in your safe deposit box or your safe in your home, but never, ever, ever keep it on you because there's so much fraud out there. And you know what? I should write that down because that is something else I need to talk to you guys about too, about locking down your credit. Because I locked down my credit. I'm like Fortnite. I learned that from working through the Federal Reserve. But you also, thank you so much. Thank you. Social Security card. Always have a copy of your Social Security card, but not on you. Keep it in your safe. Driver's license or your state ID or even your passport. And I'm going to put that on here the next time I put it out. Um, and you give us such healthy snacks too, and she loves it. Tiffany, that's what I tried to tell my friend that owns a daycare. She was trying to get the children in the daycare to eat healthy things, and I said, they're young kids. If you feed them those things, they won't know a difference. But they will know because when they go home, their parents are going to feed them the same stuff that they're used to eating. So it's hard. But I've known people, their children have never ate a piece of candy ever. Ever. And you give them a piece of candy, they'll look at you like, what is this? They want fruits and vegetables. And I think that is the best thing ever. So, don't want to get sidetracked, but yes, your driver's license, social security card, driver's license, state ID, and or passport that is not expired. So if you are within 30 days from your license or state ID or your passport expiring and you're ready to buy your house, you may want to go ahead and renew it because you do not want to get to the closing table and your license has expired. Seen that happen before, and they had to be turned around. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate it. I keep a copy of each document. Oh no, don't keep it in your phone because somebody can get that. Don't ever. No, 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 no. Put it in your safe deposit, but I would rather you put it in your, I'm gonna say this low because I don't want anybody to hear this outside of my house, but I would rather you put it in your freezer. Put it in a plastic bag and put it in your freezer. Do not carry that on you. That is not good. Because if that social security card, now you can lock it down and you can put fraud alerts on your credit and everything, but who wants to go through all of that drama? That is way too much to go through when you can just lock it down, put it in safe keepings, and then if something happens, then of course you would have to file for um, fraud alerts and things like that. But don't carry that on you. Now I will tell you, I did that for years. I did, but when I did it, it wasn't a bad thing because people weren't as bad out there then. But now they're looking for any way that they can get things done. So yes, please do me a favor, put it in a Ziploc bag, wrap it up, and put it in a box of rice or something, and keep it in your freezer. But don't throw it away. Don't forget it's in there and throw it away. But I would rather you do that than to carry it on you. 2010 after my divorce. That's a good thing. You should definitely have the fraud alert on there. That's one of the things that I have scheduled to talk about is the fraud alerts. Yes, especially when you're dealing with divorce, make sure you have a fraud alert. Lock your credit. Have you locked your credit yet? There are many, 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 many things. There's at least 10 places that you can go and lock your credit. Thank you, Living Better. Thank you so much. Yep, exactly. Secure it. And I'm going to give y'all a list of the places that you can go and put locks on your credit to, not just the Equifax, TransUnion, Experian. There's other ways that other places that you can lock your credit, and they'll send you copies of it. Now, with me, because of my federal government background, I had to do a certain type of lockdown so that people could not find me per se, because people think they're your friend. They'll come to your house. I used to do loans from my house. I learned a long time ago not to do that, but I had to change everything. You don't carry paper copies? No. I don't know. Still with that phone though, there's people out there that can break those codes on the phone. I'm scared of the phone. I I don't. I take my account numbers and everything out of my phone because it just takes that one person that can jailbreak that phone and get your information. I will be very, very leery of that. The good thing is that you do have it locked. You have your fraud alerts on your credit and whatnot. But again, you would feel. I felt violated when I lost my driver's license and found out actually didn't lose it. It was on the glass on my printer, and I found it 6 months later. But I thought somebody had stole my ID. And yeah, thank you, Candy C. I don't know. I would not. I don't trust the phone thing because people can. I don't know. It's just too much. It's too easy. People are too smart out there. If you actually, I am gonna do. I feel like this might be a topic that we need to talk about on Monday. But if you want me to send you the information on who to go to lock it, uh, grab me on Instagram and I will DM you the people, where to go to lock it all down. I am, I'm sitting here having a hissy fit too because I realize I spelled eligibility wrong. So I'm so upset I can't change it right now. But anyway, yes, I will send it to you. You're good. I can't trust my brain for that one. Mm-mm. I used to, but I cannot now. I cannot trust the brain on that one. Not with MS. But yes, grab me on IG. I'll DM you the information. It will be in the morning because will hardly, I will not go down to my office. It's down in the basement. I'm not going to go down there tonight. So if you give me 2 in the morning, I'll be happy to send it to you in the morning. So, hey, everybody, anybody but Tiffany can drop her link because she goes live at 9. So we're going to raid Tiffany. So if somebody, one of the mods can drop me Tiffany's link so that we can raid her at in 5 minutes. And Tiffany, I need you to act surprised. Oh, I just had to say that. Okay, great. Yes, I'll be happy to send it to you. It's like, and it doesn't, now I will tell you this, make sure you have some paper to write down all these codes because you're going to have to write down the past the codes to remember, because when you get ready to, anytime you apply for credit, you're going to have to unlock them and you're going to have to remember the codes. Now, I think Equifax has changed it now where you don't have to know those codes. They can do it some other type of way, but and they're the ones that should actually still have it on there since they stay in trouble. But anywho, just make sure you have something to write down so you can put all that stuff in there, because I know it's at least, because there is a place that you have to lock down for people that's looking for your credit, for your housing, There's somebody that they pull credit for payday loans. There's somebody that pulls credit for car loans. It's like 6 or 7 different ones that you'll need to. I go ahead and I lock all of them down because just in case somebody thought that they could just go ahead and use my credit to buy a car, or get a payday loan or something of that sort, they won't be able to do it because I've got them locked. So I think that might be a topic for next week. What do you guys think about talking about locking down credit next week? Yes, you have to file the police report and the fraud alert on that. That's a shame too. Yeah, that is not cool at all. Was it? Did they do any damage on the credit before you filed the charges or before you did the fraud alert? Okay, so Marley, that's what I'll do next Monday. We'll talk about credit more and how to lock it down. I'll do that. I'll be happy to do that next Monday, and at 7:30. 7:30 seems to be a pretty good time. What do you guys think about 7:30? As long as we can rate Tiffany Chanel afterwards, I think 7:30 is fine. Uh-oh. Did anybody drop her link yet? Can somebody drop Tiffany's link, please? Oh, it's there. Thank you, Jasmine. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. I overlooked it. So, guys, um, I'm going to stay on my live, but I am going to open up another tab and I'm going to Tiffany Chanel's live. Please go over to her live and say this is a Eat to Live Strong raid so that we can give her her love and hang out with her for her Makeover Monday. Hey, and Tiffany, oh, wait a minute, guys. Before y'all do that, oh, I forgot. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Don't go yet. Don't go yet. Here I go right here. Let me pull this up because I have to stop sharing my screen and you guys can see my face. Yay, it's me. Thank you for coming. So, thank you for coming. I enjoyed you guys. You guys really had some questions, which is what I really love is to have conversation. And I like to have people to talk about what we were about the topic. So we pretty much stayed on topic and I appreciate it. So now we're going to go ahead and rate Tiffany Chanel for her Makeover Monday. Girl, I got makeup on too. All right. See you guys over at Tiffany Chanel. Thank you so much. I love you a long time. Bye-bye.
Rating me. I appreciate it. Thank y'all. As told by Tina, it's Booty Raid. Y'all know, look, y'all know I get excited. Even when y'all tell me, Tiffany, I'm going to raid you, I still get excited. Like, y'all don't know. I get so giddy, like a little, what do you call those things? A Cheshire cat or whatever. I get really giddy. Like, I'm like, ah. So I really am very appreciative for raid. Very appreciative. Y'all know I read the chat very slow because I'm also capturing screenshots of people who were here. So let me try to speed up. We've got, hey, as told by Tina, hey, sis, Princess Lizzie, hey, Tiffany, Booty Raid, thank you. Thank you so much, Princess Lizzie. And thank you, Booty Duo, for rating me. Looks like as told by Tina saying hi, chat and mods. More Eat says Booty Raid, boom, 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 hey. More Eat. Thanks, sis, for being here. Slick Nico Twins is in the house. Slick, I think this is the first time Y'all have been in my live. Thank you for being here. Looks like you're saying Footy Duo Raid. Yes, first time here, host. Thank you for being here. It looks like you said like and share. Thank you for doing that. That's greatly appreciated. Looks like Princess Lizzie is speaking to Vern, saying, hey, Vern's Booski. Candy C is in the house, dropping candies, y'all. Hey, sis, thank you for being here. Eat to Live Strong, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Candy C is saying Candy C raid. You're hilarious. I appreciate all the raids. And it looks like Chosen Queen says, hey, Tiff, I'm back. Booty raid. Thank you for coming here, Chosen Queen. Thank you. And thanks, Booty Duo, for the raid. Really appreciate it. Looks like Boys R Us is here. Hey, Boys R Us. Welcome, welcome. Dave's Poems and Songs is in the chat. Welcome, Dave's Poems and Songs. Thank you for being here. Simply Lola says, Booty Duo raid. Yay. Thank you for being here, Simply Lola. Baby girl, please go close mommy's refrigerator. We can't do that because we don't want food to spoil. Sorry, guys. We've also, thank you, baby girl. done. I mean, we all know that we're trying to share information and help people, and we're also trying to get our 4,000 watch hours, and I'm definitely trying to do that. But at the end of the day, if you didn't feel any kind of love coming to this live, then I didn't do such a good job. So I appreciate you for saying that. And then let me
Hey, real life in LA. How are you? How are you, dear? I missed you. When did you go live? Didn't you go live on Saturday? I thought you were going live on Saturday, so I held off on my game night. And when I didn't see anything, I went ahead and did game night, and you would have had a ball. I'm going to do it again. So if you're still here, ring back. Let me know. Let me know when you're going live. Going live on Wednesday sometime in the afternoon. Okay, IG me and let me know real life in LA so that I know when you're gonna go because Wednesday is the day that I go live Wednesday evening. So probably at 7:30 ish I'm going live on Wednesday. So yeah, 7:30. No, 7 o'clock. I'm probably gonna go live 7 o'clock on Wednesday so that I can raid Candy C at 8 o'clock. So yeah, IG me to let me know when you are going to go live so I can make sure I'm there to support. Hey, Vern, real life in LA is on. That's who I'm speaking to. She came in and I'm still over here waiting. I was not feeling well. I didn't get to go see my mother, so I laid around all day. You do around 1ish. Okay, I'll be looking for it. Okay, thank you, Vern. Thank you, real life. I'm just letting my live run for a few minutes just in case anybody else came back in with questions. In real life, I hope you had a great Mother's Day also. Sorry about that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I didn't want to go, and my mom is she has she's she has shingles, but she doesn't have an outbreak now. And because I wasn't feeling well and I have MS, I didn't want to go over and give her anything, so I just stayed away. Okay, Vern, thank you. Sure, Vern, go right ahead. I'm still here. Wow, real life. I'm sorry. I heard that's very, very painful. My mom is a soldier. She battled through that. I had chicken pox twice, and I was told I will have shingles when I got older. I heard it hurt. It really does hurt, Vern. My mom was in. So my mom is one that will never go to the doctor or anything. And I happened to call her that morning, and she had been complaining. I said, "Mom, go to the doctor," and I had to go pick my niece up from school, so I wasn't able to take my mom. So I had my nephew to take her. But she said it's the pain that she had. She said it was worse than childbirth times three. She said it hurt so bad, and it was like burning. Now my mom never had the chicken pox. Let me tell you how she got it. They gave her a shot to keep her from getting. I think it was she got a shot for the pneumonia shot and a shot to keep her from getting, and she ended up getting shingles. Yes, she did. That's why I don't take none of those shots. I don't deal with that foolery. No. But wait a minute, you had the chicken pox twice? Wow. Did you have the chicken pox and then maybe the smallpox? Because I had the chicken pox once. They say you never could get it twice, but they say a lot. Oh wow. I had all of the childhood diseases back to back to back to back one summer. When I turned 10 years old, I had the measles. I had the measles three times. So I had the measles, the mumps, then I got the chicken pox, and then turned around and got the measles again. That whole summer was completely ruined. And I had the immunization shot and still got it all. So yeah, not cool. Yep, I remember getting all of that. You know what? Real life, my husband never had it. And my grandfather never had it, and he took care of. He helped take care of all of us. You know, my grandma, my mom, and my granddad, my dad. My granddaddy never got it. He never got all of none of it, any of it. My husband never got any of it because he's from Louisiana, down in the woods, so they don't get none of that stuff down there. But and he never even got. I think he did get immunized. They got the immunization shots, but he never got any of it. So you're lucky. You're blessed because that chicken pox in the month, all of them is horrible. They're horrible. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That's how bad it was. I just, mm-mm. I'm hungry. It's too late to eat. I guess that's a good sign. I'm getting my appetite back because I haven't had an appetite in a couple of days now. You know, you said the flu shot. I worked for a company that gave us a flu shot every year. For I was there for 9 or 10 years, and I took it every year. And then when I resigned from the company and went out on my own, I think I took it one time after that, and then after that, I just stopped taking them. I have not had the flu. Have not had the flu. I don't need anything else in my life. But my husband had it really bad 2 years ago. His temperature got up to 108. He refused to go to the doctor, and that's the year that they had that strand that people were dying from it. He wouldn't go. I said, you know, I'm autoimmune. I cannot be around you, and I had to nurse him back to health. I said, you should have went to that because once your temperature get over a certain amount, that's when it starts messing with your brain. It starts messing with your brain. I pray so hard for me not to get anything from we had this breakout. I don't think it's contagious though, unless you're talking about the chicken pox, because the shingles is not contagious. I think you have to get that from having like chicken pox, is what they were saying. But again, you never can trust what they say. Things happen. Yep, 108. No, poor guy. He was just hard headed. I tried to give. I had to. I said, get in a cold shower. I could not get his temperature down. I said, get in a cold shower. I said, not cold, cold, but take a cool shower. Turn the shower on. He turns it on heat. I said, you don't need heat. You're already 108 degrees. Try to rub him down with alcohol. I said, you know what? I can't. With you, I can't. I slept in a separate bedroom. I got up every hour, took his, yeah, I got up every hour, took his temperature, gave him medication, made him drink white grape juice. And that's my second line of work too, by the way, guys. I was did nursing, so I'm a nurse, but I had to retire from that because of my health condition. So I nursed him back to health. 2 days later, it was like nothing ever happened, and he just knew I was gonna get it, but I didn't because as soon as I walked out, I Lysol before I walked out the bedroom door in my room where I was sleeping. When I opened the door where he was, I sprayed Lysol in the room and walked through the Lysol. Oh, yes. I washed my hands thoroughly. And I took zinc tabs. I stayed zinced up. Nico, as we say in Spanish. Yes, 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 yes. It was like, never again. You're gonna have to go to the doctor. I started to call the ambulance to come and take him, but he just would not do it. I was like, do you realize how many people were dying? They were literally dying from the flu. He would not go. I said, I know your mama told you a hard head make a soft butt. I don't know why you won't go. Let me check something here. I think it's the weirdest. Yes, I'm sorry. Zinc helps with immune. Yes, zinc does. Zinc helps with hair growth too. Yes, ma'am, it does. There is this what are they called? Coldies. Whenever you start feeling a cold come on, if you start taking the Coldies cough drops, it stops. It heals the cold before it stops. If you do it early enough, it has nothing but zinc in it. It's nothing but zinc tabs. So I keep zinc in my closet. How are you guys holding up out there anyway? Real life. Yeah, keep that in your medicine um cabinet because zinc is really good. If you feel a cold coming on, zinc tab. I think the way if you get the ones that dissolves, it's called cold not coldies. Well, coldies is a cough drop. The other one is called zinc Zicam. Zicam. That's the one. If you get Zicam and keep that in your medicine cabinet, you take one tablet every uh 4 hours. You can't drink anything for like 20 minutes after you take the Zicam, but it really, really works. I promise you, it works. We're to open most things on the 15th. Oh, wow. You're going back to work soon. Oh wow. Yeah, they opened everything here in Georgia. It's been about 2 weeks now. The gym was supposed to open on the first, and they were like, "Oh no, wait!" Well, first they were going to open, and they said, "Well, we'll open. We'll have the social distance going on. There'll be two people per 200 square feet." And I'm like, "Okay, that's going to be exciting." Because the thing I was worried about is when people start sweating, and they're swinging their hair and the sweat's flying all over the place. That was my concern. So I'm like, I'm autoimmune, so I will not. I promise you, I will not be going. I cannot wait until they open because I definitely need to get back into the gym. But they definitely are not. Then so they came back and I guess they had to work because I go to LA Fitness. And I guess because they are based their corporate is in California, so they had to listen to what corporate said, and corporate said they were waiting on the federal government before they did anything. So they sent back another email and said, yeah, we're not opening on the 1st of May, maybe at the end of May, the middle of June." I was like, yeah, okay. So the game we played on Saturday was really fun. I hope I'm going to do it again this coming Saturday. So hopefully you'll be able to attend. It would be fun if I had more people to participate, but hopefully, Shay was the only one that actually participated. So I cashed out her some money because I could not give her anything because she won whether nobody came up there or not. She did everything. So you feel like it's too soon. I'm not going to go out as much. I'm still going to quarantine. I've been, oh, never heard of that one. Huh, okay. Yeah, we go out, but because I'm autoimmune anyway, I it wasn't nothing for me to make sure I keep myself masked up and gloves and hand not hand sanitizer. I couldn't find hand sanitizer, so I would use the baby wipes and what something else I ended up doing. Girl, I kept alcohol in my car. I was put it on my hand and wipe my hands with that. So I used my knuckles. I didn't use my palm of my hands for nothing. So yeah, I'm used to going out like that. Yep, I know. I know. I haven't seen the lady that was on that live with us that night when she was we were singing that night. I have not seen her. I haven't seen her. I forgot her name. I have to go back in the live and find her name. So I haven't seen her out there in a minute. What are you gonna do on your live Wednesday? You have anything planned? Yeah, I have not seen her out there. So I have, like you said, I forgot her name. Actually, I haven't seen her since that night. But I don't think she was a regular on the YT anyway. Because when I looked at her channel to subscribe, I don't think she had very many videos. You're gonna do a trivia? Oh, okay, cool, 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 cool. Now, you know, I found out today because I did a PowerPoint presentation and I found out that I did not have to go through Google Docs to share my screen. The only catch to it is that I have to read my comments from the live on my phone. But what I did was I had my PowerPoint presentation up and then I minimized the screen so people could see my presentation from there. So I didn't have to share I had to share my whole screen, but I did not have to go and save anything through Google Docs or anything. So it worked out perfect. So like now I can go ahead and work on um, my Wednesday live stream. I can go ahead and get that ready. So I don't know. Were you trying to use StreamYard or were you trying to use what's the other one called? Streamlab, or were you just trying to go live on your phone or computer? Yeah. hmm It was easy. Once you told me that, I was like, okay, I won't ever worry about that again. Because I was freaking out at 4:30. I'm like, oh, I'm going live in 2 hours, and I have not figured out how to share my screen. So what I did was I called Jasmine easily, and she taught me how to do it. So now, are you using StreamYard or are you using oh gosh, just going live from your computer through your YouTube? Oh, now you can do StreamYard too and share screens. Yeah, Jasmine is good. I'll call her for stuff that ain't even related to YouTube. She's good. I was like, I thought I was good with that. She is good. But yeah, you can use StreamYard for to share screens. I like it because you can let people come up on your panel too. Yeah, I don't go on my computer downstairs is Windows based. I don't like Windows based. So I use my Apple MacBook Air. I have to watch and see. Yep. It is. Oh, just so you know, we actually rated Tiffany Chanel, and I'm just leaving my live stream up just in case people came back in with questions or didn't because she shared me out and I didn't want to not be live and people came in with questions. So if you I've got about 10 minutes left on the live. So if you want to go over to Tiffany Chanel's channel, you can do that. And but just wanted to let you know. I don't mind you staying here talking to me either, but I just wanted to let you know. Yep, she's still live. She went live at 9 o'clock. And she's like, I'm actually over there now. So if you when you go over there, just say Eat to Live Strong Raid because she's aware that and what she is doing now, she's she's helping, she's helping people be fabulous, and they're dropping links and whatnot. She's talking about her money makeover. So yeah, she is live right now. We try to just like when I ask for your information. If I once I find out, I know you have a community tab. Are you on Instagram? If you are, drop me your Instagram so that we can, when I see that you're going live, I can share you out on my community tab and vice versa. I don't know if you go to the group Instagram, but yeah, we do try to share each other out. We try to help each other. So yeah. And I see you over there now.
Okay, so now let's see. All right, Katie, see, I got you. I got you too. So, y'all up. All right, guys. That was beautiful. Okay. All right, guys. You can see right here, they definitely are actively posting.
Wow, that's good. Hello, Noni Way. How are you? Thank you for stopping in. I am actually, we had just sent a raid over at 9 o'clock to Tiffany Chanel. If you want to go over to her channel, you're more than welcome to do so. I did a presentation on mortgages today. I will be on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Mondays is going to be pertaining to mortgages and credit. Wednesday is going to be pertaining to healthy eating, and Fridays are going to be pertaining to fitness. But if you need me to, I'll be happy to put the slides up for you to see them. Just send me a yes or no, and I'll put the slides up for you. Or if you want to go over to Tiffany Chanel's channel, I can drop her link for you. So just let me know. And again, thank you for coming. I appreciate you coming here. How are you today? I should have asked that first. And I'm happy for you to be here as well. Thank you so very much. Okay, dear, thank you so much for stopping in again. I don't know if you're still hanging in or if you are gone on to another channel, but I thank you so very much. I always invite you back. I will be live again on Wednesday and Friday, but I also will be here every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Wednesday, it will be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Friday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And again, throughout the week, I will come live in the morning time. So again, I'm here every day live except for Sunday. And Saturday is my game night. So I hope to see you on one of my other lives. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I wish you all the best. And if we are not connected, please go to my channel, look at a short video, leave a comment pertaining to the video, subscribe, and click the notification bell, but most of all, like and share out if you can. And I will reply and do the same on your channel. So I look forward to a long commitment and building relationship. Thank you for coming to Eat to Live Strong. You have a blessed day. Bye bye now.